Hello, hello. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Ryan Seafout Show. Now, I'm starting this show. It's kind of a new show. Some of the things I say are going to be outlandish, perhaps a bit satirical. But a lot of people in my life have no idea what's going on in the world, and they need to be told what to think. They need to be told what to think and who they should vote for, and that's why I'm starting the show. Because I'm going to tell you how to live your life, basically. Okay? You turn your brain on autopilot, do exactly what I say. You're going to be handsome and charming and successful like me. And also, I got really bored of walking around my apartment monologuing to myself. That was getting I started to feel trapped in my own mind. So now I'm doing this. And I'm talking to it, my iPhone in an empty study room of my college library. Go Bobcats. Somehow, it's better. It just is, okay? As always, big week of news. A lot of stuff's happening in the world. A lot of bad. The world's burning. It's on fire. You should all probably just kill yourself. That's what I plan to do. I'm actually in the market. If anybody knows a good suicide cult, I'm looking to join. Anybody knows a cult that is going to commit mass suicide anytime soon, get me in it. Sooner the better. Because I don't think humanity has much time left. I do not have any faith in the general public. The people I interact with are all idiots. Everybody on the internet is an idiot. I'm the only sane person in an insane world. All right, now that's out of the way. First item on the agenda. Stephen Colbert got fired, and his show, The Late Show on CBS, has been canceled. And the internet's all up in arms, especially people on the left. You know, people on the right are kind of like, good, DEI must die. Kill all the migrants. It's kind of what the people on the right just want more brown people to die, okay? They want Donald Trump to feed migrant babies to the alligators down at Alligator Alcatraz, all right? That's the natural next step for the MAGA people. People on the left are saying this is some kind of censorship coming from Donald Trump, that Donald Trump magically got him kicked off the air. It's not true. It's not true, okay? Stephen Colbert's Late Show was losing millions of dollars every season it was running on CBS. It was just not economically viable. And it wasn't economically viable because Stephen Colbert sucks. All right? He's not good. He's a second-rate comedian in a third-rate suit with like a fourth-rate smile. All right? He's not good. He's not charismatic. And I'm here to tell you that when his show goes off the air, last episodes of 2026, I'll be taking over. And we're going to turn this ship around. All right? We're going to make late-night television great again. It's no longer just going to be old people and dimwits that are watching. We're going to bring the general public back into the fold, and we're going to do this because I'm going to have live migrant executions on every episode when it airs. There'll be a migrant execution. You'll see them. It'll be like the show Wipeout, except down there in the Everglades at the Alligator Alcatraz prison. And they're going to have to play games over an alligator pit. You know those giant balls they would bounce on, try and bounce across? We're going to have those, except the water is going to be full of hungry alligators. And the alligators are going to be very hungry and mean. They're going to be used to eating human because we'll feed them migrant children when we're not airing. And you're going to be able to see live people get eaten alive by alligators on national TV. And it's going to be great. Okay, so Stephen Colbert. Who even watched The Late Show? Nobody watched it. You know who watches The Late Show? Elderly people. People who are over 60, boomers. My crazy liberal grandmother watches that show. She watches that show and she thinks she's getting the news. Stephen Colbert's not a journalist, he's a comedian. How is this censoring the news? This is the most ridiculous asinine take I've ever heard. He's not even a good comedian. He's not a journalist. He's never broken a story in his life. How? Listen, my elderly boomer grandmother watches this show. And she's a crazy liberal and she's one of the dumbest people I know, all right? She's one of the dumbest people I know, and that's the kind of people that watch this show. Idiots and ingrates. If you have an IQ below 60, you'll love The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. You'll love it. If you are legally retarded, you'll love The Late Show. If you're legally retarded, you'll love it. All right? If you have an IQ like 60 or below, you'll love it. You can watch it while you're getting ready for the Special Olympics. You can watch it while you're doing your nightly run for the Paralympic Games. All right, that's the type of people who watch The Late Show, so I don't care that it got canceled. The world's better for it. His show was shit. And I'm glad that I'm going to have the opportunity to take over for him. I'm glad. I'm really glad. All right, next up in the news. Shane Gillis hosted the Epsies, and once again, people are all up in arms. You either love it or you hate it because he made some raunchy jokes. You know, he did a pump fake where he faked out. He put a black woman on the screen who wasn't in the WNBA, said she was a full-time All-Star. Everybody clapped. It was great. And this is exactly what these people, anybody who goes to the Epsies is soulless anyway. The Epsies, who goes to that? What kind of Hollywood or athletic elitist goes to that? These are people who need to be made fun of. These are not normal sane people. You see the way they dress? You see the way they dress? They dress like they're all idiots. It's literally like the Hunger Games. They dress like they're in the Capitol, and this is the movie The Hunger Games. They have no idea what's going on in the real world. They have no idea what reality is. They're so rich and so famous. They look down their nose at us normal people. They call us pores. And they think we should be the ones in the migrant prison in the Everglades. They think normal people should be there. They think we should be there with the migrants. And the migrants should have a fair shot at killing us. That's what they think. And I'm glad Shane Gillis went there and made fun of them. It was good. They suck. They're terrible people. They're soulless, empty, hollow people who have no meaning in their lives. They're not like me. I'm a real person. I may be talking to a camera alone, but I have a soul. I have a soul. Like, who goes to pedophiles go to the Epsies. You know what the Epsies is? It's people on the Epstein list. Donald Trump doesn't even have to release the list. He doesn't even have to forget the whole Epstein release the list bullshit. Just anybody who was at the Epsies, arrest them. Arrest them. That's who's on the Epstein list, pedophiles. And those are the people that run the world. Pedophiles, rapists, murderers, just no good drug addicts. Those are the people who run the world. You know, like, remember it came out that Elon Musk was on ketamine while he was working with Doge? Like, the people who run the world are idiots. Oh, how did this happen? How did it become so that the people who run the world are all idiots? How did that happen? Huh? How the fuck did that happen? They're all pedophile idiots. They're all pedophile drug addicts. They're like, Jeff Bezos married a whore. He married a whore. He married a Barbie doll. She's plastic. She's made out of plastic. How are these people, what's going on? How are these people running the world? Hey man, hand over the reins. You guys are losers. You guys are You see Mark Zuckerberg in an interview, he sounds like a robot. The guy's a robot, and he's one of the richest people on this planet. How does that happen? Why am I not running the world? Give me the keys to the castle. I'll turn the ship around. All right? We'll go right back to port. Stop fighting back there, kids. I'll turn the car around. That's what I'm going to say to Israel and Palestine. Hey, your dad used to reach back. Hey, stop fighting back there. Turn this car around. That's all that needs to happen for Israel and Palestine. Donald Trump should just go there and start spanking Benjamin Netanyahu. Pull down the pants of Hamas, spank them. It's going to be fine. The kids just need a little discipline. All right? They're fighting over a desert. How dumb do you have to be to fight over a desert? Holy land in the desert. God would not want you to live in the desert where there's no food or water. We got grossly off track. Started off talking about the Shane Gillis hosting the Epsies. I ended up talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Let's get back to something that's real. Pam Bondi says there's no Epstein list. She says there's none. The Attorney General of the United States says there's none. And people on the right feel they've been cheated because they were promised that Donald Trump would release the Epstein list. They feel they've been cheated. They've been bamboozled. They've been swindled in all sorts of ways. That list is never coming out. Ever. You think Bill Gates is going to let that come out? He's on the list. You think Bill Gates is going to let that come out? You think Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton was Epstein's #1 customer. Bill Clinton was a top guy. Bill Clinton would have taken any product. Bill Clinton would call Ghislaine Maxwell and say, I need a migrant boy. Bring him to the Oval Office. And then he would have intercourse with an underage migrant boy. That's who Bill Clinton is. You think, the Clintons, how many people have the Clintons killed? Look at the suicide list. They're not letting that list get out, you motherfucker. They're not letting that list get out. Ever. You can look into Hillary or Bill's eyes and you know they like kids. Bill Clinton, I mean, he was Epstein's top guy. I've said it, I'll say it again. He's the top guy. This is never coming out, and what Donald Trump is gonna have to do, he's gonna have to serve Pam Bondi's head to the MAGA base on a silver platter. Because these people who are making America great again are never gonna stand for no Epstein list and nobody's heads rolling. He's gonna have to kill Pam Bondi in the middle of the street. He's gonna have to walk her out in front of the White House and shoot her in the back of the head. That's the only way this goes away. Either that, or he can send her to Alligator Alcatraz. He can send her down there where it's hot. The migrants are mean, she won't like it. It's hot and the migrants are mean. I wouldn't like it. Alligators are hungry. Donald Trump's been feeding them migrant children. He's been feeding migrant children to alligators in the Everglades of Alligator Alcatraz. So what he's been doing down there at that migrant prison they just built in the middle of the Everglades, he's been feeding the migrant children to the gators. So they're now trained. They're now trained to only eat human. They crave it. It's all they want. And people on the left they say it's inhumane. Why would you send migrants? These people just want a better life, and you send them to the middle of the Everglades, and they're surrounded by alligators, and they have no rights, and they have no water. Bah humbug with that. Fuck that. That's good. That's very good. Now, I'll tell you how you can make it better. You want people, you want women, you want the gays, people on the left to get behind Alligator Alcatraz, turn into a reality TV show. Love Island season 15, Gators gone crazy. A hot new bombshell just entered the villa. Cassandra the crocodile. And it's one of the it's like a 10-foot female croc from down the Everglades. She's the number one migrant muncher. You put her on Love Island, and you get some male crocs, and they're all like, "Whoa, look at the tail on that thing. Big, strong tail. She could lay a lot of eggs. I'd love to fertilize her eggs." People would go crazy. There would be stands. People would be standing these crocodilians. You would have women on Twitter saying, "I stan Cassie the croc. I stan her. I stan her." Gary the Gator is such a gaslighter. He's such a trash mate to Cassie the croc. That is how they need to turn this into a reality TV show. They need to give these Gators personality. And you want to bring all the men on board? Get ESPN down there. Let's see some mid-season numbers. Which Gators ate the most children? What's their bite-to-eat percentage? You want to get the male? You could bet on it. Which Gator is going to get this migrant? You could bet on it. People would love it. I would love it. Romans love the gladiators. We're gonna love these Gators that are keeping the migrants in prison down there in Florida. We're gonna love it. People are gonna go crazy for it. You can even spin it off into like a true TV reality show. You can send some hot blonde reporter down there to interview the migrants. We're here with Juan. Juan had his right arm chewed off last summer by Gary the Gator. Just completely mauled it. Juan, what do you have to say about being stuck here in the middle of the Everglades with no hope of ever seeing your family again? Oh, es muy mal. Es muy mal. No más, es muy mal. My arm, he bit my arm. Oh, we're going to throw it back to Gary in the studio. You do that? People are going to think it's great. It'll be a meme. Look at Juan. He had his arm chewed off by Gary the Gator. 15-foot alligator ripped his right arm out of its socket. It's great. People would love it. You have to turn this into a spectacle. If you're Donald Trump, how you make the Epstein cover-up go away? Send Pam Bondi down to Alligator Alcatraz and have her start interviewing migrants who have been mauled. People have been mauled, and then you could even interview people in Florida. Because people in Florida are fucking nutcases. They feed the gators anyway. You can interview some fucking toothless, drug addict, homeless white guy down there in Florida. "Oh, yeah, I got a gator that lives in my backyard. He likes eating marshmallows. They ain't nothing but puppies. These migrants are goddamn lying. Goddamn liberal CNN, fake news." You could just turn this into a whole shit show. And people would be publicly debating in Twitter whether alligators eating migrants is a good or bad thing for this country. People would be publicly debating. Do we like them eat? Do we like the gators eating people? Do we hate it? Are we fence sitting? You would see like celebrities come out. "I love that he's feeding people to the gators. This is the best thing to happen." Steve Bannon would go on Fox News. These people don't deserve rights. These people they're rapists and murderers and child molesters. We need to feed them all to the fucking alligators. That's how Donald Trump could get rid of this whole Epstein cover-up that people are outraged. He didn't release the list. Did he kind of insinuate he would release it? Yeah. He didn't do it. Maybe he's on the list, maybe he's not. When it comes to elections, I kind of just vote for whichever pedophile I think is going to be best for the country. Which pedophile better suits my needs? You don't vote for somebody because they're a good person, right? We've never had a good person be the president of the United States. Okay, it doesn't. You know how many deals you got to make with corrupt people to get the funding to run for president? I can't believe people are. You're mad that Trump lied. He's a politician. What are we talking about? Bill Clinton got head in the White House. Obama's married to a man. So what? He covered up the Epstein list. Obama's married to a man. He's married to Obama's wife has a dick. And you're mad Trump covered up the Epstein list? Brock covered up his wife's 15-inch dick for 8 years. Covered up Michelle's BBC. Big black cock. Okay, this is what politicians do. They lie, all right? Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks, all right? We wish we could have Jesus Christ be our president, all right? But he's dead, all right? The Romans killed him. Also in the news, Donald Trump cuts all funding to the public broadcasting system, PBS and PBS Kids and NPR, non-political radio, all that stuff. Cut the funding. I agree with him. All right, why is the government funding media? Does that seem Orwellian? That was kind of Orwellian to begin with. And I know it's kind of like, oh, but it helps the people get informed. No, it doesn't. Nobody trusts anything they read or see anymore. Everything is so subjective. Is there even truth? Does the world have anything that's actually true? Everything you see on social media or CNN or Fox, it's all just a lie anyway. So yeah, maybe the government should not be funding lies. All right? They can lie to us for free. We don't need to. The government does not to be spending taxpayer money to lie. They lie for free. You know, they go on the podium. Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. Lie. Lie. There's no Epstein list. Lie. They lie to us for free. Why do you need to spend taxpayer money on it? Cut it all. The government's going to lie anyway. Who trusts the government? It's 2025. Who trusts the government? You trust the government, you have to be a fucking idiot. You really have to be an idiot to trust the government. Like, you have to be one of those sub-60 IQ people, those people who are legally retarded that I mentioned earlier, who watch the Stephen Colbert Late Show. Those same type of people trust the government. Those are the same type of people. They're the same. Legal, and I could say that, all right? I could say retarded, because I'm retarded, all right? It's cool. It's cool. It's like a black guy saying the N-word. I can say retarded. I'm retarded. It's not that big of a deal, all right? It's not blow this out of fucking proportion. So yeah, he cut PBS. No more public. What about the people in the rural areas? These people who doesn't have internet? Everybody has internet. Okay? People down there in the bayou have internet. You see the guys on TikTok posting crawfish boils. They got internet. All right? Everybody has internet. Everybody has free access to the internet. Everybody has. Homeless people even have smartphones. Everybody has access to the internet, right? What kind of dystopian hellhole country do we live in where homeless people have iPhones? They can't get a job, but they have a fucking iPhone 15 Pro Max. What? They have an iPhone 15 Pro Max BJ. They got the iPhone that can give you a blowjob. And they're homeless. They got their priorities straight. I'll give them that. They do have their priorities straight. If I had a phone that could give me a blowjob, you know what? I might be homeless too if I had a phone that gave me a blowjob. I'll cut them a little slack. But the fentanyl, doing the crack, stabbing people, passing out in the street, shitting in public. We've got a homeless problem. We built a new prison in the middle of the Everglades to put migrants, but we can't build a homeless shelter. That's the hellhole country we live in. That's just the state of the world. Russia-Ukraine still going on. That's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. You got white guys killing white guys like they're blacks on the south side of Chicago. That's what it is. They got white on white violence going on in Ukraine that's very similar to black on black violence in the south side of Chicago. That's what that's like. It's just, the world is fucked. All right, we're all doomed. That's why I'm saying I need to get into a suicide cult. Need to get into suicide cult. ASAP. On a positive side, Japan launches first ever brown bear emergency after several men wind up dead to brown bear attacks. They got bears eating people in Japan. I didn't even know Japan had bears. I didn't even know Japan had a tree, to be honest. Every picture I see of Japan is Tokyo. It's just a concrete jar. I didn't even know Japan had trees. But they got brown bears, and they're eating people. And this is part of a greater endemic of minorities stealing white people's shit. Okay? White people used to be the ones that put themselves into dangerous situations with animals. We used to be the ones that would go, when you read a story in the news, diver mauled by 18-foot bull male tiger shark after attempting to pet it, you'd be like, white guy. White guy. No, now you got, even Asians are getting attacked by bears now. This is a step towards racial equality that I didn't know we needed. White people used to have kids. Now it's all Muslims and Asians that have kids. It's all black and brown people that have the children. White people don't have children anymore. That's fine. At least we still got the animal attacks. At least we still got, Crocodile Dundee, Jeremy Wade, Steve Irwin. We don't have that anymore. Every race is getting attacked by animals. Every single race. There's nothing you can do. Every race gets attacked by animals. Steve Irwin he's trans now. He's a black gay trans man. And there's nothing wrong with that if you want to be black or gay or trans. But Steve Irwin, why is he black, gay, and trans now? Why is he black, gay, and trans? Crikey, mate. Look at this queer bait croc. Look at the shit on that thing. Look at its cloaca. Just say you want to fuck the crocodile, man. Just say you're thinking about it. You fucking pedophile. Just say you're thinking about it. All right? You could probably fuck a crocodile and get away with it. People fuck kids and get away with it. Politicians have sex with kids. So I don't think having sex with a crocodile really puts you out of the running for holding political office. You could probably do that and still be the mayor. I'd say mayor is probably as far as you could go. Maybe congressman. You got fucking an alligator in Louisiana. People be like, all right. He's a good congressman. He's pro-border security. So what? He fucked an alligator. Keeps the migrants out. I mean, valid argument, I guess, if that's what your political ideologies lie. Can't argue with it. Final news story. I can't even believe this is real. Mia Khalifa honored in France for helping further diversity efforts. That's right, porn star Mia Khalifa got an award from the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, for helping to move the needle on diversity in France. Not only does she take black dick, she's for BLM too. She takes black dick and she's for BLM. She does it all. And I mean, just how surreal is this? If you live in France, if you're one of these Frenchmen, how surreal is it to see your president, your elected president, who's supposed to be keeping the Russians out of France? That guy's supposed to be keeping the Russians out of France, and he's pinning a medal on a porn star. I mean, say what you want about Donald Trump, he's not honoring porn stars. He's fucking them. He had sex with Stormy Daniels, but he's fucking porn stars. But he's not giving them a medal. He might come on her face. He's not bringing her on live TV and putting the medal on her chest. That's what Emmanuel Macron's doing. He gave a medal to Mia Khalifa for pushing diversity in France. And not only is Macron... By the way, Emmanuel Macron, his wife's a dude. Okay? Brigitte Macron is a dude. Candace Owens got 15 hours of content on this, if you're curious. His wife's a dude. And he's lying about it. His wife's a dude, and she's also 20 years older than him, so it's kind of weird. They met when he was 14. He was 14, and she was like 30. So it's starting to be like a pedophilic situation. And she's a dude. Allegedly his uncle. It's like a crazy, like this guy's crazy. This Emmanuel Macron guy's crazy. And I think maybe the reason he gave Mia Khalifa the award, and this is just all hearsay, I have no substantiating evidence, but maybe it's because Mia Khalifa is the only woman he's ever seen naked. You know? He's married to a dude. Maybe Mia Khalifa, or a trans woman. He's married to a trans woman. Maybe Mia Khalifa is the only pair of tits he's ever seen on a real live woman. And that's why he gave her this award for pushing diversity. But this is the society we live in. And this is why I think everybody needs to kill themselves. Because we have porn stars getting awards from presidents for furthering efforts in diversity. Yep. Thank you all for watching. This concludes our first episode.